new interests and to remain curious. And we will support your development to become work ready, career ready, and world ready. So you'll be given, if you join us at your time at NUI Galway, support and knowledge and skills and self-confidence to achieve your goals and reach your full potential. And a business degree opens many doors, and particularly the programs that we offer at NUI Galway also allow a lot of flexibility. So that means that you have lots of opportunities available to you, depending on which path you choose to take within our programs. So to give you just an idea of the schedule for this session, as I said, I will present, myself, Mary Barrett, will present, as I said, I'm a lecturer in the accounting discipline here and associate program director for the Bachelor of Commerce. And then one of our students on our Bachelor of Commerce global program, Paul Keneally, will also present at the end of this session to give you the students' perspective. And I think that's always really valued by potential students to get an idea of what's it like to experience our programs. So at a glance, we have, I suppose, some nice statistics to have a look at here. NUI Galway is ranked in the top 2% of universities in the world, which is in the QS World Rankings, which I think is a great achievement for a small island like ourselves. We've been inspiring minds since
There's no internet secured.
I'm not sure if you've come in, maybe if you can turn off your mic, you mightn't realize in the background. I think there's a little bit of noise coming in. And Adrian, you let me know if there's any issue from my side, if you can hear me. So, so we've been a defining presence really, and a recognisable landmark in Galway for almost 2 centuries. We are most definitely a research-led institution. And at the heart of that, we're at the heart of a very distinct and vibrant region. We're renowned for our unique culture, for business, social sciences and creative industries, economy and innovation. And if you join us, you become part of a vast alumni network. It's a great statistic to say that 98% of our all graduates are working or in further study within 6 months of graduating with us. And certainly we have developed and grown as a university with 16 new fantastic buildings on campus since 2005. We have an annual spend of 278 million in the economy. And from a research perspective, 5 of our researchers were named the most highly cited researchers worldwide by Gaeilge. In the J.E. Cairnes School of Business and Economics, which is the School of Business within NUI Galway, we identify in our mission that we're a school of business and economics for the public good. So that emphasizes our dual focus on society and business. So through our teaching and research and public policy impact, we contribute to sustainable societal change in economic, social and natural environmental contexts. And of course, being that we are based in the west coast of Ireland, we're energized by our regional edge. And we are a globally engaged business and economics for the public good that makes a transformative impact for students, society and business. So whilst we might be based on the edge of the west of Ireland, we're very much globally linked and globally focused university as well. In that sense, we've been recognised and accredited by the Association of Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business, the AACSB, and that's a long-serving global accrediting body for business schools and has the largest business education network worldwide, connecting students, educators and businesses. And this accreditation, which we've achieved with AACSB, reflects many things. That we have a research-led teaching and quality of research that our academics engage with, that we have innovative teaching practices, that we have applied learning opportunities, industry engagement and certifications and relationships with industries are key. We provide for work placements, global experience and collaboration. So the accreditation itself will tell you the standard of education that you will be engaged with at NUI Galway and at our business school. In addition, as we said, we are ranked in the top 2% worldwide. We also have in the School of Business the Athena Swan Bronze Award, and that works towards our work on gender equality. We're also a member of Enlight, which is a European network of colleges that are working towards social responsibility. We're winners of Postgraduate Course of the Year by Grad Ireland. We are also externally accredited by the Association of MBAs. So with all the, I suppose, 100 years of delivering business education, we certainly encourage our students to develop original thinking, to push boundaries and participate in finding solutions for global business opportunities and challenges. So at NUI Galway in the School of Business and Economics, you will be engaged in leadership, communication, collaboration, analytical skills, technical skills, and international management. So we will work towards personal, professional, and academic development during your time with us. In terms of the programs that we have on offer, I know particularly that's what you're interested in today. We have a number of offerings that I'm going to have a quick chat about. And as I say, we'll be dealing with all the questions you have at the end of the session. And again, if you have questions, pop them in the chat as we go through so we can keep track of them and make sure that we answer all of those. Adrian will be managing that for us. So first of all, we have the Bachelor of Commerce. GY201 is the code that will be on your CAO application for that. That is a standard three-year program, but there is an opportunity for you to transfer from that into the global experience year and turn it into a 4-year program. The average intake on this program is about 270 students, and the CAO points for the program in 2021 was 476. So to give you an idea of a Bachelor of Commerce, what it's about, we start off with a basic foundation in all broad levels of business. So you will be given, all students will take a foundation level in first year on accounting, economics, information systems, management, marketing, mathematics. So we build your foundation, particularly in the early years of the program, so that everyone who graduates has a good broad level in business. And then we allow you to further specialize as you move through the program, through second year and especially into third years of the program. So that means that if you have an interest in business right now, but you're not sure exactly what area of business you might have a preference for, it allows you to get that good foundation and to then specialize once you have a greater knowledge of the subject areas. In terms of the Leaving Cert entry requirements, your requirement is that you have a minimum grade H5 in 2 subjects and passes in 4 other subjects at 06 or H7 level in the Leaving Cert, including Irish, English, another language and mathematics, and then any 2 other subjects recognised for entry purposes. Just to point out as well, before I move to the next slide, with regard to the foundation, we assume no prior knowledge for subject areas, because often we get asked by students, oh, I haven't taken accounting, or I haven't taken economics, or I haven't taken any business subject. Will that stop me entering onto the program? So you can see from the minimum requirements that it doesn't. You need to have your Irish, English, other language and maths, and then any other 2 subjects. So if you've chosen Leaving Cert subjects that are not in the business area, that will not stop you from entering into this program, and it means that you still have the opportunity. So we assume no prior knowledge in business subjects. Once you then...
I didn't catch that.
Oh, I'm
sorry. Could you try again?
It's my Siri who picks up on me then. I'll just click him off there. Okay, so then once you get that foundation in first year and primarily second year, you then can choose, once you enter your final year of the program, which could be third or fourth year, depending on whether or not you've had a global experience, to specialize in what we call streams. So that means that if you've been studying your foundations, let's say in accounting, I'm going to refer to that because I lecture in accounting. If you've been taking your foundation subjects and you feel that's the area that you would like to specialize more in, then in your final year, you would choose a number of subjects from the accounting and performance measurement stream. So you would get to choose more of those subjects than maybe any other area. And then you can still have some options to add into that. So we have at the moment 9 specialist streams available in the program: accounting and performance measurement, economics and public policy, human resource management, digital business and analytics, marketing management, finance, business law, international business, and entrepreneurship. So you will study foundations in all of these areas in first and second year, and then in your final year, you might decide to specialize more in one of these areas and then add some optional subjects to that. So there's great, as I said, foundation, and then it allows at this point for you to tailor your program based on what you're most interested in. In terms of what it would look like if you were to join us next year on a Bachelor of Commerce program, here's a course outline of the structure. So we're a semester semesterized university, which means each semester is 12 weeks long. So you would join us, let's say in September, and study a range of subjects for 12 weeks. You would complete your exams at the end of that period, and then in the next semester, you would take another range of subjects. So we have 2 semesters that you would study in the year. So starting in first year in commerce, you would take management and enterprise in semester 1, introduction to financial accounting, principles of microeconomics, mathematics for business, and business information systems. Those would be 5 core modules that you would have to take in semester 1. And then in semester 2, you would have data science for business analytics, information management for business, introduction to management accounting, foundations of marketing thought, and principles of macroeconomics in semester 2. Now, in each semester, you would take 6 subjects. So that means that there would be an additional subject in each of those semesters that you would choose from. And we offer you then your options to either choose a language from Spanish, German, or Gaeilge and take that over the 2 semesters, or you would take skills for business in semester 1 and business law in semester 2. Now, if you join us on those programs, we would give you plenty of advice at the beginning of your first year on how to choose between your optional subjects and what might be more suited to you. For example, if you were pursuing the accounting or thought you had an interest in accounting, we would advise that you would take the business law because you would require that for exemption purposes. So we would give you an opportunity, even in first year, to tailor it to what your needs may be. So moving on then, again, any questions, we will pop them in the chat and we will answer them as we go through. The next program that I'll talk to you about is our Bachelor of Commerce Global Experience program. And on your CAO form, that would be GY 209. Now, this program is very similar to your Bachelor of Commerce program, except that rather than being a 3-year, it's a 4-year program. So the average intake each year on that is about 65 students, and the CAO points for it that in this year, 2021, were 551. So what makes the Global Experience program different to the main commerce program? And it's really in the title, it's all about the global experience itself. So that additional year that you get on the Global Experience program will allow you to undertake international study or placement that will broaden your area of study. So students in the course are guaranteed a work placement or study abroad opportunity in their 3rd year of the program. And we've partnered with Deloitte, and Deloitte are one of the big 4 global accounting firms for this program, and they provide travel bursaries to support students when studying abroad. So we're very grateful to Deloitte for this partnership. And graduates of the program are also recognised as Deloitte Global Scholars. So to have a look of the structure of that program, first and second year would be the same as the Bachelor of Commerce, but in your 3rd year, that extra year, you could have 1 semester study abroad and 1 semester work placement, or you could choose for 1 full year study abroad, or you could choose for 1 full year working abroad, but there might be limited places in terms of international study. So the international or global aspect is important to the program. So it's a fantastic opportunity to add in an extra year, to have the opportunity to study at a university worldwide, and to add in a work placement as well, if you so wish. Now, if you're on the 1BC1 program, the commerce program, we do provide for an opportunity to potentially transfer into the global experience after you've joined the 1BC1. So you might be saying, now, well, I definitely want to do global experience and apply for it on your CAO, and you may just not make the points of it in the first year because that's a little bit higher. So if you get into global experience, you're guaranteed the additional year on your work placement and your study abroad. If you come onto commerce, you can apply in 2nd year, and if your grades are good enough, and there are enough places available, you may be able to transfer. So if you come into that commerce program, the places to transfer into the global experience are on a competitive basis. So we would expect and require you to perform well on commerce in order to transfer into commerce global experience. To give you an idea of our partner universities, if you go through the global experience where you study abroad, you will study abroad through English. So Even if you study in, let's say, a university in Europe, it will still be English speaking and you will study through English. So that's different than to our international programs. So we have partnerships with Concordia College in Minnesota, University of Maryland in Baltimore, University of Science and Technology in Hong Kong. We have University of Queensland in Australia. We have partnerships with Germany, with France. So we have a number of study abroad opportunities and partnerships with universities worldwide. In terms of work placements, we have again extensive relationships with industry, and full support is provided to our students throughout the placement process. So we do have placement officers that will provide you with support throughout your placement and get you ready for interviews, preparing your CV, developing your workplace skills, etc. So these are some of the places that our students have worked in whilst on our global experience program. So Aviva, SAP, KPMG, PwC, Shelbourne Hotels, Smith's Toys. So we have Dell, a number of placement opportunities, and some words from our placement providers. They say that the work placement provided me with an incredible amount of experience and confidence to drive and enhance my career. So that's one of our students who's a HR intern at the Shelbourne Hotel. And we're trying to invest in students for the long run, and that's the Chief Executive of SAP or SAP, Liam Ryan. So we do recognise the value of work placement through your study. And I think particularly when you come back to us after work placement, it does bring the material more to life. So it is a great opportunity for students who are willing to invest 4 years in their undergraduate studies. Other offerings that we have, the Bachelor of Commerce International. So with this program, there's an emphasis on a particular language. So there are 3 international programs that we offer with 3 separate codes on the CAO offering. GY202, which is studying Bachelor of Commerce with French, GY203, which is with German, and GY207, which is with Spanish. Now, for all of these programs, for the main content area, you will study through English, which you will have additional core modules in these languages, in French or German or Spanish. So the points for French was 520 this year, 518 for German, and 506 for Spanish. And for these programs, it will be 4 years for each of them, with the average intake of about 15 students. To give you an idea, we'll still work on the same focus of building your foundation in broad terms with regard to your accounting, your management, your economics, etc. But you will have that built-in specialization in a chosen language. So it allows you to develop your language skills and live abroad while gaining valuable insights into international business and culture. So here again, in the 3rd year of the program, you will study abroad and you will study through your chosen language specialty. So if you're going to apply for GY202, when you study abroad, you will be learning business through French. Or if you're taking the German module, you will be learning business through German. And here are some pictures of our students who have participated in these programs and have really enjoyed the experience of studying abroad and engaging with the cultures of the country that they have studied in, particularly when they are developing their language skills in those cultures. So we're kind of developing opportunities to develop your language and culturally expand your opportunities as well on this program. We also have a Bachelor of Commerce Gaeilge, which is GY208 on our offerings. That also was a 4-year program with an average intake of about 15 students, and the points in 2021 was 508. And I suppose this program, the Become Gaeilge, was introduced following demand from students for a program that combined the study of business and the Irish language. Again, all business subjects are taught through English as they are on the international program, but you will also study Gaeilge throughout your degree. And here where you have the additional year, you'll have a work placement and a Gaeilge semester. So in year 3 of the program, you're divided between a 1-semester internship in an Irish-speaking environment and a semester studying Áras Mórthán í Chreadáin and the NUI Galway Centre in Cararua. So that, I suppose, is equivalent in a sense to the international program, except that the language specialty is Gaeilge. In addition, we have a Bachelor of Commerce program that specialises in accounting, and that's course code GY207. The program director for that module is Mary Cosgrove, not myself, I'm Mary Barrett, but we're both in the same discipline and can certainly provide answers to any questions you have. This program is a standard 3 years, but you can also add on a 4th year if you would like to do global experience as part of this program. And again, that's on an application basis once you're with us. So the average intake is about 35 students for this program. The CEO points this year were 543. So why would you choose Bachelor of Commerce, accounting versus Bachelor of Commerce? And really it's just about whether or not you think you might want to do accounting as opposed to whether or not you know you want to pursue a career in accounting. So if you know you want to pursue a career in accounting, if you've taken Leaving Cert Accounting and achieved a minimum grade at Leaving Cert and want to specialise from when you join us, then the BCom accounting might be more suitable. If you think you might be and you're not sure yet, then I suppose I would advise that the BCom would be more suitable because you don't have to choose your specialism until you hit 3rd year. So it's all about the individual themselves and whether or not you know exactly what you want to do right now, or you want to leave your options open. So again, there's a broad-based education with this specialist in accounting from the beginning. We're certainly recognised by all the professional accounting bodies, and we have the maximum exemptions available in any university or IT. And there are also very high levels of exemptions available on our other BCom programs too. So if you're not so sure just yet, then don't worry that going into a BCom is going to leave you in a worse off position. It's certainly not. So it does depend on the individual. But as a minimum requirement for this program, to be accepted onto this program, you would have to have taken Leaving Cert Accounting and have achieved at a minimum a H4 grade. An AH4 grade. We have partnerships with a number of the accounting firms and internships. So many of our students can go on placement if you choose to do the global experience option, or take an internship module that we also have available over summer periods, where you could join KPMG, Ernst & Young, Deloitte and PwC, the 4 big accounting firms, or other industries and other sectors. So those opportunities are all available for you. We have a very strong link with industry. We have development of relationships with a number of industries and many guest lectures, etc. So within BCom accounting, there's lots of opportunities there to specialise in accounting. Within the business school itself, for all of our commerce programs, we are delighted that we have a partnership with PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is one of those large accounting firms, and they have sponsored our Skills Pathway program. So across your degree, there are over 3 years, we have significant development in your skills for the workplace. So in 1st year, we have a module called Skills for Success. In 2nd year, it's Skills for Business. And in your final year, it's Innovation, Creativity and Enterprise. So we're delighted to partnership with PricewaterhouseCoopers for these skills development modules. So we look at your employability skills, we look at building resilience, mentoring skills and progression of ideas from concept to marketplace in terms of creativity and enterprise. So we're connecting with your individual capacity for creativity and innovation. And the overall objective here is to encourage students to be self-confident in their ability to be creative. Combination. This program is a great combination of both. It's fully accredited by the European Foundation for Management Development, meaning that the degree meets the highest international standards for management education. And within the 4 years, there are also work placement and study abroad opportunities available. We, as I say, within this combine interest in technology, where you'll study things like coding, analytics, Photoshop and web design. So if you spend a lot of time already kind of in front of the computer and working with things, this might be a program you're interested in. And then you will also study business at a high level, accounting, economics, management, and entrepreneurship. So there's a great kind of mix there with that program. The types of roles we often get asked for people who are interested in this program, what would I be at the end, or what could I do? So the types of roles that our graduates from this program undertake would be things like business analysts, programmers, IT managers, cybersecurity analysts, which is timely given what we're going through this week at NUI Galway, or consulting roles. And really, I suppose information systems, as we know, support all types of environments. And so experts in those areas are really fundamentally important for organizations. So our students are employed by companies like Accenture, Avaya, Cisco, Google, KPMG, Deloitte, Intel, Lionbridge, IBM, to name just a few. So there are many fantastic career opportunities from this program, as are from our other programs. Here's a slide that just gives kind of typical frequently asked questions that we get asked at events like this. And so we just kind of put up a few, and I'll try and answer some of these, and my colleague Adrian is also online here with us to answer some others if I get them wrong, which I might. So how many contact hours are there per week? So as I said, we're a semesterized program, and generally you'll be taking about, let's say, 6 modules or subjects per semester. So generally with that, you would have core lecture time of about 12 hours and potentially maybe another 6 hours or so of tutorials or workshops. It will vary per module. So typically on a timetable, you're looking at maybe about 18 hours per week, but it will vary per program. For example, the language modules might have a little bit more direct lecture time for the development of the language skills than those who aren't taking the language modules. So somewhere between I'd say 16 to 20 hours per week, depending on the program. Are students who didn't study accounting or economics at Leaving Cert going to struggle with accounting or economics modules? No. So what we would say is we start at the very beginning. So I teach the first year accounting modules, and about 60% of the intake on our commerce programs, not Become Accounting because that's a specialist program, but on the other commerce programs, about 60% will not have studied Leaving Cert Accounting, 40% will. So we will start at the very beginning. It does mean if you have studied Leaving Cert Accounting, you would have to maybe put that little bit less time into the accounting, and that gives you more time to spend elsewhere. But the same applies for economics. But we do start assuming no knowledge, and we will get you and get you through the module and give you lots of supports throughout. So if you haven't taken these subjects at Leaving Cert, it's likely that there will be some extra tutorials available to you as well to help you work through the material. So certainly not all students will have studied these subjects before, so you shouldn't be at a disadvantage. Can I transfer from BCom into BCom Global? Yes, there is an opportunity for that. You can apply in second year, but it is a competitive basis. So if you apply through the CAO for global experience and you get offered a place, you are guaranteed that you will have the 4-year program and the global experience. If you come onto our BCom program and want to then apply, you may get a place. We can't guarantee it because it will be dependent upon the number of places available, the number of applications, and how well you've performed in first year, amongst other things. So it is a competitive basis. So if you come onto the BCom and want to transfer, you need to do well in order to be guaranteed that transfer. What's the ratio between exams and continuous assessment? That will vary per subject. So it does depend on the subject that you're taking. And typically up until now, let's say for accounting, I would normally have about 20% continuous assessment and about 80% for an exam at the end. But this year, as in last year, due to COVID, it has been 100% assessment. We don't expect that to continue in the long term. So once you come on campus fully, and hopefully that will be, we will be back to normal next year, there will be a percentage of continuous assessment and a percentage for exams. But it does very much depend per module. And so each lecturer or each discipline will have a policy on that. And you'll be told about that very clearly at the beginning of each semester. Is maths important for commerce or global experience? I suppose what I would say to this one, and I hope I'm giving the right answer to that, is that it's good to have some aptitude for it because you will be studying maths. And so, you know, that that you don't hate it, I think is important, but you don't have to be an expert at it either. So, you know, we all know that there's a certain amount that technology does for us now, which can help us a long way, but you will be studying maths. So if you absolutely hate maths and found it really, really difficult and you're really not good at numbers, then yeah, you certainly would have to have a think about whether or not you would be able for the maths. But in general, again, you're given great supports, and I hope I'm answering that question correctly. And Adrian may correct me at the end on that one. That's just kind of my feel for it, that I would say you definitely don't have to be an expert by any means. But I would say in general, it's probably helpful if you feel not too scared of it. What will the CAO points be for in 2022? We can never answer that question. Because I suppose every year it's all points. The CAO system works on a supply and demand basis, and it also will move each year depending on what points the applicants have. We know that there obviously has been inflation over the last 2 years with the predicted and calculated grades, and it's very difficult for us to know right now because there has been no announcement over what exactly the grades, how the grades will be calculated for 2022. So I think it's a watch this space. And I just feel in terms of your application, don't let it to impact what you choose. You should choose at the top of your list the course that you really want. And if you don't make the points for that, then it will go next down the list. But always try and choose your course, not on the basis so much of the points, but on the basis of what suits you, what you want to study, what you think you would be good at and would like to spend your time at. That really should drive your decision for the CAO, in my opinion. And again, I might be corrected. What accounting exemptions do I get if I complete BCom Accounting? So there are a number of professional accounting bodies, Chartered Accountants Ireland, ACCA, the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, CIMA and CPA. They're the 4 main ones that students go to in Ireland. Chartered Accountants Ireland, we have the maximum exemptions available both on the BCom and the BCom Accounting, which is Cap 1. They don't give any more exemptions to any undergraduate program ever. So we have the maximum exemptions available for those. For ACCA, we have more exemptions available and specifically on the BCom. So we have, again, the maximum exemptions that are available for those programs. So either of those routes will give you. And for those of you that don't understand exemptions, what that means is if you wanted to be an accountant, once you finish studying with us, the accounting bodies will recognize that on your degree, you studied a good bit of, let's say, accounting already, and they would give you exemptions from some of their exams, which means you would have less exams to do. So the answer to your question is, on both programs, we have the maximum available in the country. So they're well accredited by the accounting bodies, and we have great relationships with those accounting bodies. I'm conscious of the time. I can see I'm eating into other people's time, so I don't want to do that. So I suppose what I would say to you is, if you join us at NUI Galway, you will certainly be following the steps of greatness, and not just academic greatness. And our students continue to really fascinate us in terms of the skills and the talents that they have. So for example, you may have seen on TikTok the Gaeilge dance troupe, and that team, and particularly during the early stages of lockdowns, they certainly entertained us, and they're wonderfully talented dancers. And several members of that group are studying business courses here at NUI Galway. We have Francis Fallon, Ronan O'Connell, Stephen McGuinness and Dara Kelly, who are members of that dancing group. In addition, a picture here is from the IAAF World Athletics Relays in Poland recently, where the Irish women's relay team are celebrating here because they came second. And that relay team members, Aoife Lynch, Kate Doherty, Sophie Becker, and our Bachelor of Commerce student, Sarah Quinn, were part of that team. So, you know, when you come to NUI Galway to study business with us, we're delighted for that, but we also see our students achieve and excel in so many other areas of life. In terms of graduates from our program, some of our graduates include Aubrey Dolan, who's a senior product manager with Adidas, Erica Fox, who is a social media influencer and set up Retro Flame, Annette Donnelly, who's the managing director of Sony Music Ireland, and Gavin Duffy, who's a sponsorship manager with Connacht Rugby. So I think a business program and the programs that we offer and the relationships that we have can create many, many opportunities for you. And our students, our graduates continue to excel once they leave us. In terms of our presidents, so some of our presidents, the President of Ireland, Michael D. Higgins, is a graduate from NUI Galway. The President of our university, Professor Ciarán O'Hogarty, is a graduate of our BCom programme. He's been a lecturer in accounting for a number of years and is now the professor of the university, and actually continues to teach on some of the programmes. So on BCom accounting, I teach first year BCom accounting, and Professor Ciarán O'Hogarty also teaches an element of that module and teaches into some of our second year modules as well, as he loves that teaching aspect of his experience and continues to engage with and get to know the students. And the president of the Business Studies Teachers Association of Ireland, Margaret McDonald, is also a graduate from our BCom programme. In terms of employment opportunities, you can see these well-recognised companies: Ryanair, Google, Deloitte, PayPal, Bank of Ireland, Glanbia, eBay, Novartis. So our students have continued to leave us and excel, to be recruited consistently. We have a great recruitment relationship with employers, and it's a great stepping stone to future careers, I think, from our programs. So that kind of finishes up my direct piece on here. I'm delighted to welcome one of our students on our BCom Global Experience program, Paul Keneally. Paul is in the final year of this program, and so he has just completed his year of global experience. And so he's going to chat to you about that now. I'm looking forward to hearing about Paul's experience as well. And again, continue to post up your queries on chat. I will be here until the end of the presentation if you have any questions you want to ask as well, and we'll have time for further questions at the end. So I'm going to stop talking now and give Paul a chance. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks very much, Mary. So good morning, everyone. So this morning I'm just going to talk a bit about the BCom, and more specifically my experience on the BCom Global. So it wasn't that long ago when I was in your position filling out the CAO. I don't know how stressful it is with all the decisions, and you're trying to find exactly the exact fit of what course is the right one for you. But I don't think any decision is the wrong decision. I remember for me, the CEO change of mind was the 1st of July, and right up to then I was still between commerce, teaching, finance. I didn't know what to do. But I suppose how I landed on the BCom Global was basically based on this list of 5 points below. So number one was I had an interest in business. I didn't 100% love business, but from just having a part-time job and from doing business in school, I had a good enough interest to take on a few business modules. Then the second thing is it's such a wide course with wide range of modules. So you're not just stuck doing one thing. You're not just going and doing accounting every day. You're doing a mix between marketing, accounting, economics. And so in that way, it's nice that's broken up. There's so many career options from commerce. You can go into teaching, you can become marketing executive, an accountant. So in that way, I kept all my options open for kind of delayed decision of what career I want to do until I graduate from the BCom. I'm not sure if any of you have got the chance to actually be on campus, but the lifestyle down in NUI Galway, it looks good. From the pitches in Dangan, we have the Kingfisher, and then we're close to the city. But it's a nice lifestyle, a nice place to be. And finally, for your college course, you're going to be spending 4 years or so doing it. So you want to have fun. The academic side is important, but also I'm not sure if you've been down to Galway, but there is good crack down in Galway, and that was another big factor of why I choose to go to NUI Galway. So moving on, as you can see, there are so many streams to choose from a commerce degree, and it caters for so many mindsets. You don't just have to specifically be orientated towards accountancy or economics. You can have the creative side of marketing and enterprise and all of that. As Mary said, in your first, second year, it's kind of foundation. So you take modules from across all the different streams. And that actually, sometimes it might seem like a pain, but it's actually good, because not only do you identify the modules you like and the stream you like, but also you definitely do identify what you don't like. And that makes it easier as you go on. Your opinions may change over time. You might think that you don't like one subject until you take it, and then actually might realize that you do like it. And also a commerce degree comes in handy in your personal life just as much as your professional life, be it personal finances or being involved in different clubs. So definitely doing a commerce degree, you can't go wrong with it. Then after, when you come into your final year, you'll begin to specialize and pick a stream. So it's basically like designing your own degree. In my case, I picked the accountancy and performance management measurement. So it just gives you, as you to pick the option towards when you're in final year as to what stream you want to go down. I know a few of you might be thinking, it was in my case anyways, about languages. I always want to kind of keep either the Gaeilge option or the French option open. But just in NUI Galway, there's also other options with other schools in the college. So in my case, I've done a 2-year part-time French diploma outside the BCom, which let me keep up French as well. So for my work placement, I work with an Irish multinational called Smurfit Kappa, who are Europe's largest producer of paper-based packaging manufacturing. So it's a company of 46,000 employees, and basically what your work experience allows you to do is it puts you into the business setting and gives you hands-on experience. I know for those doing science, they go into labs weekly and get to actually apply what they're learning. But for us, it's definitely the internship experience that allows you to put all your skills, such as your Excel skills, your accountancy skills, everything to the test. Also, another thing about maybe if you're undecided on what modules to do, I actually wasn't a big fan of the law modules in first and second year, but I actually undertook my internship in the legal department where I worked on competition law and mergers and acquisitions, and absolutely loved it. The internship experience also gives you kind of context of how corporations work and how globalization works really, and how more and more each day that the countries are all working together and you work with different people from abroad, and also huge networking opportunities to meet people and get connections, which will be handy further on in your career. Other examples of what you learn on your internship experience is kind of you can see how businesses work and how they operate. And one thing that we do is the innovation, creativity, and enterprise module. And that's basically where you can go and put all your skills to the test. You create your own business. So it's a nice way to kind of end your BCom degree, because you can pull everything together. You can bring in the creative side, and a lot of what I've seen and learned on my internship, I brought that to my project. Then for study abroad, unfortunately, I was due to go to Montreal last year, but with COVID, we were grounded. But I'm heading now in January. I have the flights booked and ready to go. But there's just a wide range of opportunities to go abroad. I remember in my top 4 choices, it was on 3 different continents. I was between Montreal, New York, Perth, and La Rochelle in France. But I do currently have friends who are on study abroad, who absolutely love it and say it's definitely the best experience they had in college, and the experience to learn different cultures, to make friends from all around the world, and also to get huge independence. Now, before any of you actually do feel sorry for me for not going abroad, I did manage to go abroad on 4 occasions with NUI Galway, just to show how close the course were. Our class reps organised 2 trips abroad to Amsterdam and Budapest just before semester 2 started in first and second year. But also, I'm also a member of the NUI Galway GA Handball Club, and we were given the opportunity to go to Madrid and Valencia, and also to the University of Texas at Austin. While we were abroad in Valencia, we actually got the chance to meet up with NUI Galway students who were there on Erasmus. So finally, here's a few images to sum up my BCom experience. There's just images from all different things, from the being with clubs and societies, and also the Commerce Ball. So not only will you graduate with a great and well-recognized degree, but you're going to have so much fun along the way. There's so many opportunities here available to students who do the BCom. And then if you see the photo there with the pizzas on the table, that was when I was a PAL leader. So when you go into first year, you'll become a PAL student and you'll have a PAL leader. So basically they show you around the college. They give you tips on kind of how to use Blackboard, which is the computer system we use here in NUIG. But also anything else, really, the best place to go in Galway, or anything like that. So one thing for sure is you'll definitely have fun on the BCom. So I know there's big decisions to make at the CAO. I 100% recommend the Bachelor of Commerce, and best of luck with your choices. And hopefully some of you will be in NUI Galway next year.
Thanks so much, Paul. That gave a great insight, I think, into the experience. And yeah, I often think, certainly, if I was to do it again, I'd love to do global experience to get the opportunity to study abroad. And I think that less pressure if you're not studying with the language. If you're not as strong on the language, you still get to go abroad without having to study through a language. So I think that's quite good if you have an interest in that area. So I see there's lots of questions on the chat. So I'm just going to have a look in. Adrian, you've probably been monitoring the chat for us while we go through this, and you've probably asked lots of questions. So is there anything you want us to address, or anything that is kind of coming up from the group as we were chatting?
Hi, Mary, and hi, Mary and Paul, and thanks so much for that fantastic session. We've been working through the questions actually as the session has gone on, and I think a lot of questions were also addressed in the FAQ part as well. I know one question that came up there a couple of minutes ago was around a work placement as part of the Become International with languages. And just to say, while that's not officially a part of the program, many of our students, while they're abroad, do source internships in their countries of where they're studying their languages. And Aubrey Dolan, who we gave an example of, the senior product manager at Adidas, is a good example of that. He was a BCom International with German student who sourced an internship while he was abroad. So while that's not a component of the program, many of our students do pursue that opportunity while they're abroad. But Mary, I think between the FAQs and the presentation and the chat, I think we've addressed everything else that's come up. But just also to encourage all of our students to talk to our staff members who are on the booths today, and that we're available at any point during your journey studying business at NUI Galway to provide support as well with any other questions that you might have.
That's great. Thanks, Adrian. That's brilliant. And thanks, Paul. It's been great to have you all. We've had a huge number here today, and it's been great to get the opportunity to I hope we answer all the questions you have. But as Adrian says, we're here all day. Do come and see us if there's anything particular you want to chat through. And even after the event is over, you pop onto our website, you'll find us all there. We're only delighted to answer questions at any time. And hopefully we'll get to see and meet you all on campus sometime next year. So take care, everybody, and thank you so much for attending this event. And I'll hang back if there's any other questions in the chat that are coming in, and we'll have a look at them as well. Thanks, everyone.